St. Joseph College for Women, Autonomous, Visakhapatnam. Welcome to St. Joseph's open web-based learning platform. So e-learn for a soulful and enriching e-learning experience. Department of Commerce and Management presents SMOOC, St. Joseph Massive Open Online Course. I, Dr. K. Rajani, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, St. Joseph College for Women, Autonomous, Visakhapatnam, presents Module 2, Economic Theory. Module 2, Economic Theory. It contains 4 chapters, 2.1 Macroeconomics, 2.2 National Income, 2.3 Microeconomics, 2.4 Classification of Markets. Now, let's start with the chapter 2.1 Macroeconomics. The content of chapter 2.1 are meaning and importance of economic theory, introduction to macroeconomics, objectives of macroeconomic policy, the key indicators of macroeconomic policy, and the last one, applications of macroeconomic policy. Outcome of this chapter: students will be able to understand the meaning and scope of macroeconomics and its role in analyzing the overall economy. To explain the concepts and measurement of national income such as GDP, NDP, GNP, and national income, and to analyze the factors affecting aggregate demand and supply in an economy, and to interpret the economic indicators to evaluate the health and performance of a nation's economy, to apply macroeconomic principles to understand fiscal and monetary policies and their impact on economic stability and growth. Now let's start with introduction to economic theory. Economic theory is a foundation of economics, provides concepts, models, and analytical tools used to individuals, business, government make choices in a world of limited resources. At its core, economic theory addresses the fundamental problem of scarcity, the idea that resources like time, money, labor, and raw material are limited, while human wants are unlimited. Because of this, individuals and societies must make choices about how to allocate resources efficiently to satisfy needs and wants. So the economic theory are divided into two types: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics helps consumers' behavior and to analyze the individual's decision focus, whereas the macroeconomics related to inflation and growth study and the economy-wide perspectives. So over time, different schools of thoughts have emerged, such as classical Keynesian monetarist, neoclassical, and behavior economics. Each offers a different perspective on how economies function and how problems should be addressed. In a sense, economic theory is not just about money, it is about understanding human behavior, predicting outcomes, and providing tools for making informed decisions in both personal and policy contexts. Now we start with macroeconomics. What I mean by macroeconomics? Macroeconomic is a wide area within economics that focus on study of the economy as a whole. It aims to understand broad movement trend in an economy by analyzing aggregate indicators such as national income, total employment, inflation, and the overall level of economic output. Macroeconomic theory provides the function for formulating policies that guide economic planning and stability at the national and international level. The importance of macroeconomic components are gross domestic product. What do I mean by gross domestic product? It measures the total volume of goods and services produced. And next one, inflation and deflation. These reflects the changes in the general price levels. And the next one, unemployment rates. It indicates the percentage of workforce without job. And national income. It represents the total income earned by a nation. And the government policies. It includes the physical and monetary strategies to manage the economy. And exchange rate. It determines the value of one currency relative to another currency. Achieving economic stability through key economic objectives. These economic objectives are economic growth, low inflation, full employment, and balance of payment. Let's go with what is objectives one by one. First one is economic growth. Economic growth means an increase the overall production and goods and services in an economy. It measured by gross domestic product. It leads to high living of standards, increased employment, and a wide range of goods and services available to consumers. Next one is low inflation. Low inflation means price stability. It is a situation where general price levels of goods and services remains relatively stable. It helps business and individuals to make a long-term decisions, and it avoids the economic disruptions caused by high inflations. And next one, full employment. Full employment means it is a situation where large proportion of the labor force is employed and the number of people actively seeking work is relatively low. It reduces social problems associated with the joblessness, increase national income, allows business to operate more efficiently. And the last one is balance of payments. Balance of payments is a situation where a country's total exports of goods and services sold to other countries are equal to its total imports of goods and services purchased from other countries. It helps to avoid imbalances in international trade, which can lead to economic instability and currency fluctuations. Key indicators of macroeconomic policy. Now let's start with the first indicator, that is gross domestic product. It is the economic indicator that is measures the total monetary value of goods and services produced within a country's borders during a specific period. It is the primary indicator of country's economic performance. It helps to measure the size and health of an economy. The GDPs has different types. Those are nominal GDP, real GDP, and per capita GDP. First one, nominal GDP. It measures the value of goods and services at a current market prices without adjustments for inflation. It reflects the overall economic output in a given year. It used to measure current economic activity. And it is helps to understand the current market value. Next one, real GDP. It adjusts nominal GDP for inflation to provide a more accurate measure of economic output over time. It is considered a reliable indicator of economic growth. It used to show true economic growth. It helps to understand inflation and adjusted growth. Next one is per capita GDP. It is how do we calculate per capita GDP, whole GDP divided by population. It calculates GDP per person in a country that reflects the average output or income per individuals. It can be used to compare the living standards across different nations. It helps to understand individual prosperity. Inflation is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services rises, leading to decreased purchasing power. It indicates the decrease in purchasing power of a unit of a currency in the given country. It measured in percentages. It is categorized into three types: demand pull, cost pull, and built-in. What is a demand pull inflation? It takes place when the total demand is growing at an unsustainable rate, leading to an increased pressure on the scarce resources and a positive output gap. When there is an excess, producers utilize the situation, resulting increase the prices to derive greater profits. This situation is also known as purchasing power chasing too few goods. And cost, next one is cost push inflation. It means when firm respond to rising cost of material used in the manufacturing of goods by increasing price to protect their profits. Next, built-in inflation. And next, measurements. It can be measured in two ways: consumer price index, producer price index. Consumer price index. It is the average changes in the prices of goods and services over time that the consumer pays for a basket of goods and services. And next one is producer price index. It measures the changes in the price of goods and service goods sold and traded by bulk by the producers to other businesses. It used to measure the inflation. The rate of inflation is the difference between consumer price index and wholesale price index or producer price index. Next indicator is unemployment. What do you mean by unemployment? Unemployment occurs when people who are willing and able to work at a prevailing wage rates but cannot find jobs. That is called as unemployment. There are several types of unemployments are there. First one is frictional unemployment. It occurs during natural course of job searching and when individuals are temporarily between job or switching careers. Next, structural unemployment. It is a mismatch between the skills and the qualification of the workforce and the skills demanded by the employer. Next, cyclical unemployment. It arises due to economic downturns and decreasing during a period of growth. Next, seasonal unemployment. Certain industries or occupations experience seasonal variations in demand that leads to temporarily unemployment. Next, the other unemployments are technological. It happens when technological advancements replace workers in certain roles, lead to job losses. Disguised unemployment. It is a situation where more workers are employed than are actually needed. Voluntary. It occurs when individuals choose to leave their jobs voluntarily or retire. Underemployment. This situation where individuals are working in jobs that are below their skill level are working part-time when they desire full-time work. And the other implications of economic uh, lead to unemployment are labor income and the government spending. Applications of macroeconomic policy. Macroeconomic policy has a wide range of applications aimed at stabilizing and stimulating the economy. Some of the key applications are controlling inflation. Using monetary policies like interest rates and money supply and physical policies to keep inflation within a targeted range. Next, managing unemployment. Implementing policies to promote unemployment such as public work programs, tax incentives for business, or adjusting interest rates to stimulate investment. Next one is stimulating economic growth. It ensure It encourages investment and consumption through policies that foster a favorable environment for economic expansion. Next one, balance of payments. It adjusts policies to manage currency value and trade balances such as through exchange rate control or trade tariffs, stabilizing currency and exchange rates, intervening in currency markets or adjusting monetary policies to prevent excessive currency fluctuations. Next, it addresses the recessions and economic downturns. It implementing expansionary fiscal and monetary policies to boost aggregate demand. Next, reducing income inequality using progressive taxations, social welfare programs to redistribute incomes. Next and the last one is ensuring physical sustainability. It managing public debt levels through prudent fiscal policies to ensure long-term economic stability. These applications helps the government and central banks achieve economic objectives like stable growth, low inflation, and high employment. End of this chapter, some of the key takeaways of this is stabilization. It aimed at smoothing out economic fluctuations to maintain steady growth, low inflation, and low unemployment. And policy tools. We used fiscal policy and monetary policy to influence the economy. Balance and growth are seeks to promote sustainable economic growth while controlling inflation and managing unemployment. Short-term versus long-term policies aimed at immediate stabilization and other focused on economic health and stability. Trade-off policies involves balancing of conflicting objectives such as inflation and promoting growth. Responsibility requires a careful planning and coordination by government and central bank to achieve desired economic outcomes. And a well-executed macroeconomic policy can improve living standards and reduce poverty and provide economic stability. Overall, the economic policy is essential for managing overall health and stability of an economy. It's an activity given to students, that is data analysis task. The main aim of this task is to understand the macroeconomic policies and decisions. Take any data of macroeconomic and interpret the key performance indicators, that is GDP and CPI. So after analyzing this data, you can able to understand how the policies are taken, how the decisions are taken by the country. Thank you.